curious of what your guys' thoughts are on that.
Well, I can respond first to that, and I've tweeted
Okay.
this. I've tweeted this out several times. I said, you know what? If Ted Cruz can build a building on time and under budget, then I'll think about, then Donald Trump should think about giving him a debate. The bottom line is this: if Ted Cruz was such a great debater, why hasn't he beaten him in 11 debates already? I mean, and if you look back at the debates and then you look at the posts, if you look at PolitiFacts, most of the time, lying Ted Cruz is lying. So why should we give him another platform to lie when he's doing it in the media anyway? Why should we give him that platform? Bill, respond to Tim from
the reason that the reason I feel that he should get another platform because he would crush Donald Trump.
Of course,
simple.
Of course, he's a master debater. He's an attorney. What do attorneys do best? Hold on a second. Hold on. What does Ted Cruz do best? He's an attorney. What do attorneys do best? They twist and they lie. They twist the facts and they lie.
Okay, but what does that have to do with the price of rice in China, man? I mean, it
has everything to do with it. It has everything to do with it. It has everything. It has everything to do with it. When you're running a platform, when you're running a religious platform, and you're praising God, and then on the other side, you're lying through your teeth. You're lying through your teeth constantly. You can't have both.
How do you
cannot have both.
Where's the proof in his line?
You cannot have. Where's the proof? It's all over the internet. It's all over the internet. Go ahead, Bill. Respond to Tim from North Carolina.
Okay. Well, you get your source. Is your source New York Times?
Okay. What's your name, caller?
Tim from North Carolina.
I'm calling from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing on debates. Okay, I've got almost 40,000 followers online. I live tweet all the debates. Okay, people are sick and damn tired of the debates. We've had enough debates. Okay, that's one issue. The debates. I mean, if Ted Cruz could win the presidency, he should have already on the debates. Now, you talked about Ted Cruz dominates on the issues. Can you tell me? Let me ask you a question. Do you think Donald Trump is a conservative or a liberal?
Well, this is what I follow. Okay, I mean, I was raised by your
conservative or a liberal. I did ask you a simple question. Do you think Donald Trump is a conservative or a liberal?
I personally think he's a liberal. I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
Now you said
40 years.
I asked the question. I only followed. You said that Donald Trump is a liberal. Can you point out to me which of his 6 positions, his detailed policy positions on his website, are liberal positions? Can you enumerate this for me?
No, he doesn't have any extreme liberal positions. He doesn't on his website. I've been on it.
But he doesn't have any liberal positions.
But if you do, sir, in all respect, if you do the math on his economic plan, it will cripple the small business.
Tim, are you more worried about his economic plan or the sovereignty of the United States? Which are you more worried about at this point? Knowing what happened in Brussels, what are you worried about?
Listen, man, there is not a candidate running, I don't think, other than maybe Hillary or Bernie Sanders. They're not even in the equation because they're not going to get to the White House. I just don't believe it. If they do, then
Well,
okay, just answer my. Hold on, Bill. Tim, can you answer my question? What is more important to you, his tax plan, or the fact that he wants to protect every American citizen's sovereignty in the United States? What's more important?
You know what? The whole spectrum of America is what's so important, though, guys.
Yeah, but if you think about it, if you secure the borders.
Trump would.
Not securing the borders.
He wouldn't.
Not securing the borders affects everything. That is a starting point for everything. It affects the economy. It affects the infrastructure. It affects everything in our daily lives. It affects crime. It affects security.
Absolutely.
So until we secure that, I'll worry about his tax plan later on. Thank you for calling, Tim. Anyway,
let me interject something here.
Go ahead, Bill.
Okay. Ted, it's funny because when you talk to a Cruz supporter, they didn't have an area of superiority, though Cruz's policies are so much better than Trump's. They're almost identical. Okay, with some slight changes. I think Cruz has got a flat tax instead of Trump's, plan or whatever. But in general, they're almost identical. And yet they will call Donald Trump a liberal, and they will call Ted Cruz the greatest conservative in the history of Earth.
Hey, Bill, let me ask you a question.
Wait a minute,
Bill.
If Ted Cruz is, no.
Go ahead, Bill. Let me ask you a question. If Donald Trump is such a liberal with his policies, why is Ted Cruz constantly copying his policies?
Well, exactly. And here's what I've said to Cruz followers in the past. Listen, I understand that you don't like Donald Trump, okay? But Ted Cruz is not going to win the nomination, okay? So you can't have the messenger you want. At least have the message that you want. And Donald Trump's message and Ted Cruz's message are almost identical. So even though you don't like Trump and you want Cruz instead, I understand that. I understand that you like your guy. But if your guy's not going to win, support the other guy who's the next closest to having the same exact message, and that's Donald Trump.
It's almost like
Donald Trump is going to win.
It's almost like the left. It's almost like now, according to Ted Cruz today, he said Donald Trump that he's going to beat he's going to get the nomination. He's going to beat Donald Trump. And I said this. I tweeted this out to a couple of Ted Cruz supporters. I go, listen, what makes you think he's going to get more delegates than Donald Trump? The only way Ted Cruz is going to get the nomination, if he's not stood at the altar, ultimately, is by a brokered convention. And in reality, did he really win? No, he didn't. He didn't win because the people wanted Donald Trump to get the nomination. So ultimately, yeah, he will win.
The establishment is not going to give Ted Cruz the nomination.
But listen, I want to pick up this line really quick here. I want to pick up
okay, sure.
Shane. He's been waiting a while here. Shane from North Carolina, welcome to the Silent Majority.
Good to be able to talk with you all. Good to talk with you also, Bill, as well.
Oh.
I just wanted to say that as I stated before I called in a few days ago, I am a true Trump supporter, 100% Trump. I really like, Bill, you tweeted a lot about how he should stay maximum Trump. And
right.
I just think that 100% he will win the nomination. I do believe he will in the general election as well. I just kind of wish that he would kind of tone it back a little bit with this petty stuff with Cruz, because what's going on with Cruz tweeting out, his campaign having this ad about, his wife, Donald Trump's wife, and then they get back and forth on Twitter. It's so beneath Trump. He needs to really stay in maximum Trump at the moment.
I agree with you to a certain extent, but let me explain something that you may not understand about the way Trump does things. And if you read his books, you know this. That Trump plays the media like a fiddle, okay? And all these things that Trump does that are outrageous, they seem outrageous, okay? The entire purpose is to get the media to look, because the media loves outrageous stories because it's something exciting to talk about, okay? So Trump often, when he wants to change the subject to a new subject, he will put out something really outrageous so everybody looks, and then he will talk about the real issue that he wants to talk about. And people are assuming that when Trump says, oh, well, if you don't back off on Melania, I'm going to spill the beans on Heidi. And people think, oh, he's talking about her background with the mental illness thing. No, I don't think that's what he's talking about. I think he's talking about her background being a one world order person. That's the beans he's going to spill. That's what needs to be talked about. So even though, yeah, it seems tacky with, he retweeted the picture comparing Melania to Heidi. It seems tacky on the surface. It gets the media talking about Heidi Cruz. And Heidi Cruz is not just Betty Crocker in this thing, okay? Heidi Cruz is looking to have a co-presidency with Ted Cruz, and she must be vetted. I think that's where Donald Trump is going on this whole thing, and he's brilliant. He's brilliant the way he does these things. It turns some people off initially, but eventually he ends up being right every single time.
Let me ask you,
so I agree totally.
Hold
I agree
on.
with that totally. I think he's very brilliant.
Yeah, let me just reset here because I like Shane. I want to keep him on the line. I just need to reset here. You're listening to The Silent Majority.
Okay.
I'm Chris, and my co-host for the night is Bill Mitchell. I had to cool off from that other call. I'm sorry I get so passionate. But the number to call is 347-338-1775. I'm live here via New York City, the most progressive town you'll ever see. And I have Shane. Shane, let me ask you a question. What would have been the best response? I mean, and I'm not trying to throw this on your lap. If it was your wife who was tweeted about or had a commercial, and I know you're not in a political environment, but if it was your wife that was placed in this commercial to kind of make it seem like she's some sort of floozy, how would you have responded to that in terms of protecting your wife's position or your wife's personality?
That's a good question.
Did I lose you, Shane? Go once.
Here, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, that's a good question. I think with you asking me the question, I think looking at it from a slightly different perspective, I actually probably would have reacted probably very similarly to the way he's reacted as well. I mean, I don't think what he's done is bad at all. I mean, I think that like, for instance, I watched NBC News, probably one of the worst news channels you can watch. I watched the Evening News this evening. And, of course, they're going to always try to give Trump a bad rap. No matter what he does, no matter what he says, NBC News, Evening News, is always going to try to paint him in a very negative light. But, and looking at it, I probably would have reacted the very same way he did. Because, he's married and he loves his wife. And, yeah, I probably would have reacted the same way. Yeah.
All right.
Let me point us out something real quickly. This is something I think is important from Twitter. Is that a lot of people got bent out of shape that Donald Trump retweeted some meme picture that somebody, not meme but meme, M-E-M-E, a picture that somebody created saying does Donald Trump need to spill the beans on Heidi? And then it says a picture is worth 1,000 words, and there's a picture of Heidi there and a picture of Melania there, and people are like, oh well, Trump is making fun of Heidi's looks. Heidi Cruz is a good-looking woman. I mean, I'm picky, and I think she's a good-looking woman. He's not talking about her looks in those pictures. He's talking about her persona in those pictures. Because you can tell from the picture that Melania is a very sweet, kind, intelligent woman, and the picture of Heidi looks very aggressive, almost mean, a little pushy. That's the energy you get from that picture. And I think that what they're comparing, a picture is worth 1,000 words, he's not talking about their looks at all. He's talking about their personalities, their persona, their energy, and a picture is worth 1,000 words on that. So I think that people misinterpret it because they automatically think, oh, well, Melania is prettier in that picture than Heidi is, so they're talking about his looks. I don't think he's talking about looks at all. As a matter of fact, in the tweet, the word looks is never mentioned.
Right. Shane, you want to respond to that?
I agree with you. Yeah, actually, I agree with you. I don't think he meant nothing about the looks, but even if he did, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, I know some people might think that's kind of mean. Some people might think that's harsh, but in actuality, I don't think he meant that. But if he did mean that, there's nothing wrong with that. However, sometimes the news media, they're so liberal, they're going to try to magnify it to the nth degree.
Oh, sure.
And,
yeah.
But in the long run, I really think he's going to win the nomination hands down. He's going to win the general election.
Shane.
But we don't need to give no ammunition to the liberal media at all.
You're right. I can see your side there, Shane, and I want to thank you for calling the Silent Majority here. I want to leave you with this. Bill Mitchell is the master of the short tweet. And although they're very impactful, I think Donald Trump beats him with the most impactful tweets. And that's why Donald Trump does it. He takes advantage of social media. His tweets, he knows his tweets are going to get traction. And like Bill Mitchell mentioned before, people are going to start vetting Heidi Cruz because of it. Thank you for calling, Shane.
Thank you all so much.
I'm sorry, I hung up on Shane. But Bill, isn't that the case?
Yeah, see, what people don't understand about Donald Trump is a master negotiator, okay? He's a chess player. He's a deductive thinker. That means is instead of inductive thinkers sort of, kind of figured out as they go along, hoping they get to some sort of goal in the future. A deductive thinker has the exact goal in mind and works back from there, and it creates the minimum number of moves to achieve that. Okay. And so, and anytime a master negotiator works with you, they're constantly positioning you for the kill shot. Okay. They're constantly moving you to get you in the crosshair.